Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, so wherever you're watching this from. And this is going to be a small talk on difficulties in life. There are going to be circumstances, there are going to be roadblocks, there are going to be setbacks, and stuff that just completely fall apart in all of our lives. You know, not everything can always be perfect, not everything can always go our way the way we wanted to and the way we planned it to. There are going to be some hurdles that we have to overcome. There are going to be some struggles and challenges that sometimes prevent us or put everything to a standstill or stop everything altogether. Sometimes it forces us even to restart from ground zero, from step one, and that can be very degrading. That can be very overwhelming because I have experienced that myself. I can't count the amount of times I've failed or had my plans completely crushed or completely fall apart and had to build myself back up from that ground zero, which was, the shambled mess that I was, this desperate, restless, hopeless, and just constantly staying up every night till like 2 to 3 a.m. just writing because that's the only way that I could, you know, let whatever I'm feeling out or making content like this. It always was a sense of outlet for me. It was never about fame and all of that. It was just like a sense of outlet for me. Because if I don't do it, then I'm gonna be up all night or gonna be sleeping and having these weird nightmares of like myself and having everything fall apart, so on and so forth. But yeah, needless to say, it's a difficult thing to experience, and all of us have our own ways of coping. All of us have our own ways of, you know, trying to get through it and overcoming it. Most, uh, most of the time, it's not the ideal way for me or for anybody to do so, but I cannot speak once again for everybody. I don't know what you guys have been through. I don't know the magnitude of the pain that you've experienced or the setbacks that you have gone through and have come into your life. I can only speak for myself, and speak for myself, it got me into a lot of, you know, not so healthy habits, so on and so forth. Just keep it vague. I don't want to go into detail on that, but yeah, for one, staying over very late, so on, it's a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's really difficult sometimes, and I can really understand if anybody is like going through a tough situation where things aren't really the best, or everything fails despite our best efforts and so on and so forth. I can really empathize with that because I've experienced it. I've seen it multiple times, but I've also seen, the other side of it, where people who come out on the other side of that, who constantly persevered, you know, despite the struggle, despite the setbacks, despite whatever hurdles or heartbreak that life had thrusted upon them, they persevered. And, well, some of them got whatever English that they were hoping for, and others just got a sense of relief that they made it out alive, or they made it through it and they overcame it. I being in the second group, which is the one feeling a sense of relief, because I honestly never really got, to the point where I wanted to be, but I just had, like I said, that sense of relief that I overcame the struggle and I persevered through it. And that's what, I guess that's the saying that I try to keep in my head, or the famous saying that goes around in terms of such situations. It's like, I believe it goes along the lines of, I've if I've been here before already, and I've experienced this pain or this struggle before already, I'll be able to overcome it. I'll be able to get back from it again. Or I've done this before, I can do it again. You know, be it anything, coming back from struggle, coming back from addiction, coming back from heartache, coming back from this one. Although sometimes the thing that you're experiencing now may be even more heavier and even more painful than what you've experienced before, but you've had some sort of, familiar groundwork with that type of hardship. So that, and along with the experience you've gone through life and you've obtained through life with all of its lessons and wisdoms, and people around you with their advice, and the bonds that you fostered with the conversations that you have about life, or something, or just your spiritual practice in and of itself, or your daily routines, how you treat yourself, how it progressed from before to now. We grow, we evolve, we become better as people, as human beings, more kinder, more compassionate sometimes. I can attest this to myself. I get sometimes too prideful sometimes. Before, not so much now, because I'm trying to stay away from that, because I know that, you know, the funny thing is, if I find myself getting too prideful or getting too egotistic, I have a feeling that life might humble me, and not in the most, not the most subtle way. You know, it's always, it always has been quite gruesome and quite a, gut wrenching way for life to humble me. So I try to keep that as a reminder. Don't get too full of yourself. That things can always go wrong, but as well as I took another approach to that, another reminder to that to myself, which is, don't be too negative either, because if you're always so negative and always so, degrading toward yourself, that you self-sabotage and, prevent yourself from seeking out opportunities that could be really good for you, really good for your dreams, or for your life itself, that's not good as well. I mean, I know that from experience as well. I've experienced that myself. Yeah, I've self-sabotaged a lot, because I was always expecting for the worst. So in fact, I felt comfort in, in pain and misery, because it's a familiar setting. I often find myself sometimes waiting, with anxiety building up from within me whenever things are going well and nothing went wrong, because I'm just expecting for something to go wrong. So yeah, it's not the healthiest mindset to have, because that is very bad. It will stop you from actually enjoying the good times before the bad comes around. Yeah, I mean, it's a very rigorous process. Life in and of itself is a very messy thing. We all are messy as human beings. We all have our flaws, but that doesn't mean that we can't grow and become more kinder. We can't grow and become more compassionate, more smarter, more wiser, more spiritually aligned with the good and overall goodness that comes within our hearts, within our souls. You know, there's always a possibility for that. I mean, there's a possibility for things to come crashing down and us to fall into temptation and all that. There's also a possibility uh, to for things to prosper and for us to grow and to become amazing people. But yeah, I mean, that's all. What's up, guys? I hope you found it somewhat insightful. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.